Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. It is lunchtime and I'm so hungry and I just took an amazing short hike. So it's time for me to get something together and I got something easy. Let's do it. Now in order for this to work, I'm going to be using my kettle today. This kettle has gotten me so many amazing meals. It's super simple. All we do is just turn it, plug it in, add water, and let it boil. And after it boils, we are ready to go. Okay, so now we plug it in, turn on the power station to AC, and close this, and then we wait about 5 minutes. And realistically, it might be less than that. This thing's pretty fast. It is my lifesaver on the road, especially when it comes to days where I can't cook food in the outdoors because it's too windy or rainy or other things. So this guy right here is all you need in order to make a delicious meal. Believe it or not, we're about to eat something absolutely fabulous that's going to take us all of maybe 10 minutes tops. And we don't have to get out a skillet. We don't have to get out any kind of spatulas. None of that. Now for today's meal, we are going to be taking it old school with some beef stew. This is the old packaging, just to kind of go to show you that these things last forever, like literally forever. So I have had this one since probably, I want to say I've had this one for like 3 years, and I just kind of go through my stash randomly, pulling a few each time that I go on the road. And I hadn't had a beef stew in a bit, so I thought, ooh, let's get out a beef stew. So just to kind of tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Today we're putting together a mountain house, but we're also talking about something that Mountain House is actually up to right now that is absolutely epic that I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to share more than anything the food itself because it is delicious and I take it with me a lot of places, especially after an invigorating hike like I just had. This is a great way for me to kind of put back the nutrients that I am missing. And then also because it's hot, it's going to add some salt back into my body so that I can recover and not end up with a lot of like cramps and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a beef stew and we're also going to have some more water to hydrate. And then we're gonna talk about some weird things that are going on in the world and why Mountain House kind of factors into that. But first, we have to make the meal. And in order to do that, there's a little tear tab on these things that you just kind of tear across. Now, I lack hand strength, so sometimes this is kind of an interesting endeavor where we don't end up all even. But today, it's not even, but it actually is open, so that's all that matters. We can then look inside, and we're looking for a little magical thing called a absorber. So right here, we need to take this guy out, and we can throw this away. Now, after I am finished with this particular pouch, I can actually clean it out and then send it to be recycled, which is super cool. TerraCycles works with Mountain House and other companies to upcycle all these kinds of things that these are made out of. So that's really cool. But for the time being, you can see inside, this is the little freeze-dried meal. This is smelling oh so good. Beef stew is a great one, not only to eat by itself, but you can also eat it in a variety of different ways. Now, I personally have had it in tortillas. I have made like my own little meat pies or hand pies out of it. It's a super, super yummy one. And so, yeah, we're about to get this all going. Now we just need to add water. Now, it doesn't look like the water is ready quite yet, but it's getting close. So once it is finished, we'll pour into here. The basics of making these meals are super simple. You just need to be able to boil water and then pour it in the bag. And the bag has all the instructions right on it. So it tells you how much water because different meals require different amounts of water. Also, you'll learn kind of as you're using them that sometimes altitude does play into that. So as you get used to using some Mountain House, you start being an expert chef. That's all I have to say. But here we'll be able to do that and then we'll just seal it up. And then after we seal it, the moisture as well as the being sealed will steam the ingredients back to life. And oh my goodness, do they taste good once they are all back to life. So crossing our fingers, this water is almost finished because I'm getting so hungry. I definitely hear a boil now. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Okay, we're gonna pour the water into the bag and then I'll meet you over at the picnic table. Okay guys, so we're all set. We just have to wait about 8 or 9 minutes for this to do its first little round of cooking. Then we stir it, leave it in here for a couple more minutes, and then we can eat. So I'm gonna set this on the table and then chit chat with you guys a little bit about some things that are going on. Now, as many of you know, the Red Cross is something that is super important to a lot of people, and it provides a lot of good services. Now, this month is actually the 80th anniversary of the Red Cross, and I think that that's just absolutely amazing because for 80 years they've been showing up and helping people out in their time of need, and I think that that's super important and something I definitely wanted to talk about here on the channel. The Red Cross does a variety of different services, including showing up after natural disasters. The world right now has been super weird and there's been a lot of things going on. And with that, we've seen time and time again, almost on a day-by-day basis, the weather doing insane things that are affecting all of the people around us. Not just us as nomads, but people who are in sticks and bricks as well. And I think that it's awesome that the Red Cross is celebrating such a huge milestone, and also that they are providing so many different things for so many different people. Now, I recently had the opportunity to speak to a Red Cross representative, and they mentioned that one of the things that they definitely are encouraging people to do is have a go bag filled with all the things that they might need in case of a disaster. Now, on my channel, I showed what's in my go bag or what I recommend for you guys to use, and I definitely think that it's important to kind of go back, check out that video and see how prepared you are. But in the meantime, I want you to think about something, whether you are on the road or at a traditional home. Food. Think about food. Right now, I really want you guys to think about how much food you have, how much food that you are prepared to kind of store back, and how long that food will last. Now, a couple of things that have been said previously whenever I've done my disaster preparedness video was that canned goods are great. And they are, but they also aren't. One of the things I learned whenever I was helping clean out a pantry of someone in my family who had passed away is that a lot of canned goods expire in a much smaller amount of time than you might expect. Some of these canned goods had been bad for a while, even though they had been purchased more recently. It's very important whenever you're purchasing canned goods to really read those labels, because you might not be getting the long shelf life that you think that you are. However, freeze-dried foods, that's a whole different scenario altogether. So I encourage you guys to check out brands like Mountain House in order to put together your preparedness kit. Now, one thing I did want to encourage you guys to look a little bit more into, though, this particular month, is that if you are putting together a preparedness kit and you happen to order from the Mountain House website, you can actually be making a donation to the Red Cross directly through Mountain House also. They have a Red Cross tab where it has the support for the Red Cross. All of the products that are listed there do go and give a portion of those proceeds to the Red Cross so it can help other people. But I think that that's really important. Again, check out some of these crazy weather things that we've been seeing kind of across the nation during this time.
We begin with that deadly flooding emergency right here in California. The state facing another round of heavy rain after a devastating parade of winter storms. 11 million people under flood alerts across the West through midweek. The unrelenting rain turning towns into rivers. Emergency crews rescuing drivers trapped in rising floodwaters after a levee breached in Monterey County. Thousands of residents forced to leave their homes.
Now, as you can see, some of those scenarios that I just shared, I got directly from people who are sharing their worst case scenario moments over on TikTok. TikTok is a great place for people to kind of share their things in a short form. And so I wanted to share those pieces because that's the realest and rawest that you're going to find. And sometimes when we're especially in a different state, we don't see that perspective. So it's good to be able to see those people experiencing that and realize, oh wow, that's not normal. But not only is that not normal, it is absolutely terrifying to think that you could be snowed into your house or stuck on a highway for hours on end or facing tornadoes right and left. Being disrupted from your typical routine is hard enough, but then also the potential of not having supplies, having your grocery store where the entire roof falls in and there's nothing available, terrifying to think of. So that's why I wanted to encourage you guys to check into disaster preparedness and how to make sure that you guys are safeguarded. Companies like Mountain House, who have been providing military meals for years and years, are great companies to look into simply because they do have variety. They have a lot of education behind what they're doing, and also the durability and longevity of those products is just hands down. Now, I think our meal is ready, so let's go over there and see if we can have some beef stew now. I am excited. My stomach is growling, and I'm a hungry girl after my little hike. Okay, here is my meal that I'm cooking. This is another meal that they also have. This is the more recent packaging. I do really love yellow curry, so every time I find it, I buy it. I also will stock up when it's in stock on the website. It's my favorite, guys. And I wanted to kind of show you the difference between the packaging. This is, again, the old school packaging, old school traditional, and then this is new. So you could find this in a variety of different looks and appearances if you are out and about shopping. But again, if you do order online right now, you're contributing to the Red Cross, which I think is so important. I also do have a code that I'll place in the description box below of this video that'll give you a little bit of a discount. So let's check out the beef stew. Oh yes, this is looking so good. Look at this. Oh, and it's super hot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be super good. Now you can make beef stew a few different ways. You can make it more creamy, you can make it more dry, you can make it more like a traditional soup, and it tastes good any of those ways. So today I kind of did a mid-wetness blend. So it has a little bit of creaminess to it, as you can see, but it's not like soupy, and so I wanted something that would be a little bit more hearty. But again, you can do it either way. Now, I am very excited about this because, again, after a good workout, you need something to put back in, and Mountain House has always been good for me for that. Now, do I eat Mountain House every single day? No, I do not. But if I was active every single day, I might, realistically. I think that one of the things that I really appreciate about this is these are adventure meals for adventure people. But also, again, it does have that duality of the long shelf life, which will make it really good for at home. It's still a little hot though, but super good. I have missed beef stew, that's for sure. The little beef chunks are just the right size. They don't get stringy in your teeth, which I really appreciate. The potatoes, whenever you cook them, cook down to this like perfect like consistency where there's a little snap to them, and then it's just a mush of deliciousness. The peas still pop. I'm gonna be here for a minute, so I'll catch up with you guys in just a minute. Okay guys, I finished up my meal, so now I'm just going to make sure I take it to recycle it with TerraCycles. Now again guys, if you're wanting to make a difference, make sure that you check into not only protecting yourself by making sure you have that Go kit or that emergency preparedness kit, but also look into local areas where there are branches of the Red Cross. See if they have a volunteer program, and if you can, just donate some of your time. That's a good way to start. But if you also want to make a difference, make sure you check out Mountain House, where they are going to be giving back all through the month of March for every order on their website that is for one of their preparedness items. Again guys, thanks for letting me share this little piece of knowledge with you guys. If you are encouraged to go out and purchase some preparedness products, check the description box below for a code for a little bit of a discount. I don't make any off of it, but you guys get to save. Until next time guys, bye!